Hey YouTube, this is Rick the Electronic Guy. Well, today I'm going to show you how to build yourself a brand new computer using parts that you can buy off the internet or the store. We have our power supply, our processor, our motherboard, our video card, our DVD drive, our memory, and of course our tower. Also have our hard drive over here, which is my own that I've already had. I don't know if it works anymore, but I'm going to find out. So with all that said and done, I'm going to get everything ready over here and we will begin. Alright guys, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our motherboard out of the box because we need to make sure that all our holes are going to line up for when we go to install the motherboard. But there's a lot of things to be concerned about when you're touching anything. Me in particular, I don't like to wear socks or work on a rug when I'm building a computer, just because you don't want to get any kind of electrical shock. So the first thing you do is you want to touch pretty much anywhere inside the computer that can kill any kind of an electrical shock anywhere. Touch any kind of metal, touch your power supply, and if you're the type of person that doesn't move around a lot, then you're good. Then you can pull your nice motherboard out and get it ready to go. But the first thing we need to do is, like I said, we need to make sure these holes line up. So not all computers have holes that line up perfectly. Some of them don't, some of them do, and that's what you have these little pins in here for. As I see that the computers are getting more and more into age, the holes are lining up a lot better so that you can just drop them in. You'll also get yourself a little faceplate like this. Now these can tend to be a pain in the butt to put in. They all change and they all vary. Some of them fall right in really easy and some of them don't. And in this case it fell in pretty easy. So then we'll take this board and bring this and put this down. Once you have this board down here into place, these tabs are going to get pushed, and sometimes you just need to look because sometimes the tabs will interfere, and then you'll have to push it in. Then you're going to open your little bag of screws that it comes with, because you're going to get some screws. And you're going to get some washers. Now some cases don't come with washers. Some of them you got to just either make some yourself, which you can use paper. I've seen it done many of times. I've done it personally myself, and it doesn't change the outcome of anything. So when you get your one screwed down, the first thing you want to do is you want to usually hit the center screw, and get that one started first. Because once you have that one started, it pretty much holds the board into place for you everywhere. Make sure your holes are nice and straight. And go ahead and start screwing in. Once you get the 3 in, 1 in the middle and 2 on each end, you're pretty much good to go to start just putting the rest of them up and in. See, right here they don't have a screw, so what would you do? You'll take it off and you'll put one down. Because we know it doesn't take long, and you want it to be in there and you want it to be secure and everything else. So see right here, the one missing. Let me get my tool here. And start over again. Now ideally, when you do build a computer, you want to buy some of the better brand names. And the 2 top brand names for computer motherboards is Asus and MSI. Asus has been around for a very long time. They are always willing to help, and they usually have the longest warranty out of them all because they stand by their product really good. So when I build my computer or a computer for anybody, Asus is who I choose. And everybody I've ever built a computer for has been extremely happy. I have computers in Phoenix, Wisconsin, Chicago, Missouri, Florida. I've got computers everywhere. Just from moving around all through the times, and from friends that only will buy from me, same with family. They will call me up and say, hey, I need a custom computer built. Let me know what you're using it for, and then I'll build it for you from there. One of the great key aspects is the first thing. What are you using it for? If you're just using it to go on the internet, go to the store and buy a cheap computer. If you're using it to game, yeah, you can game with any computer that I pretty much make. If you want to do intensified gaming, I'll build one for you. It'll be better, it'll last longer. Some of these screws are always harder to get to than others. Just take your time with it. You'll get it done. There's no hurry with electronics. Just like when you're rebuilding a car engine. If you're in a hurry, you're going to have problems. That means something's not getting put back together right. Anybody who works on cars, know I'm exactly right on that one. The faster you're in a hurry, something's going to go wrong. Now with that being said, our motherboard is installed. Now these are our SATA wires. Yes, we get some nice fancy ones from Asus when we build. And this will be our SLI wire. This we will be using, as we are going to be linking two of the video cards together. So, with that being said and done, let's move to step 2, our power supply. So now that we're going to start with our power supply, let me go ahead and open this and show you what we got. Because we have the Cooler Master Silent Pro Gold 800 watt power supply. Which Cooler Master is a good name for cases, power supplies, and a little more. Comes with your nice little book. Gives you all your wires that you would need. Get your nice little power supply. Your duffel bag here. Now your duffel bag contains more wires for you. But we won't be using those right now as we're just getting everything ready. So the other thing we need to do is get our power supply out. Get it all unwrapped and get it installed. Now the power supply is fairly easy, especially at this stage, because at this stage we're not doing anything but screwing it into the back, just getting it in place and ready for our system install. Alright. Now that we have that part installed, we're just going to go ahead and leave that right there like that for now. And we are going to continue. We will go to our processor. Now, I went ahead and overdid it myself. I went out and bought the biggest, baddest AMD processor there is right now. Of course, next month it won't be the biggest and baddest. It's pretty much what you get right there. That and a nice little tin case. And I've always used the fans that they've came with. I've never had the need to upgrade unless the fans ever went bad, which I haven't had that happen very often either. I mean, as you can see, the fans are pretty nice. I mean, they're not as big as some of the ball bearing fans that you see out there, but this is what AMD recommends. They say it'll work great for your processor, so that's what I use. Why spend another $50 if you don't have to, right? Especially if I've never had a problem. So there's this little leveler right here to lift your processor in and out. That's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to lift it up when you're taking your processor out. You're going to want to be very careful with this processor because there's all of these little pins. Very, very small pins. If you bend one, you're screwed. You just broke it. And you can try and fight with it and bring it all the way back as much as you want. But as you can see, there's a layout on here, as there is on here. There's also a dot with an arrow right here, and you want to match it to the dot with the arrow down here. So once you get that in there, if you have it in the right spot, all said and done, it falls right in. You push down, your processor's installed. You just did what you needed to do. Now, processors aren't like they used to be. Processors used to be very pain in the butt to set up, but today they're fairly easy. There is nothing involved. You put it in, it's ready to go. The board does an auto detect feature today. Back in the old day, there used to be jumpers you'd have to move around, and then after the jumpers came the dip switches, and then came automatic, which made life easy for anybody who wants to build a computer these days. Now, the next thing we're going to put in is our memory. Yes, I went up to the upgraded part. I went 32 gigabytes. I want to make sure I have what I need when I need it, because I will be using this for my videos on YouTube. So you're going to get, well, depending on what you buy, you'll get 2 to 4 of these, sometimes just one, but most of the time you want to put them in pairs. And with these tabs, you just want to pull these down right here. This side doesn't come up. And because I have all the same ones, I'm going to take this pin. See, you look at the shorter end of the pin, and I'll take this right here and I'll pop that into there, and I'll push down right there, just like that. And I'll do the same for every one until you hear that click. And I will keep opening my memory until they are all installed, because they do not take but a minute to install. Now today's memory is coming with these heat shields. This is because your memory is getting hot these days. When memory gets hot, like anything in electronics, it starts to slow down. So it's good to keep your memory nice and cool. So now that you got all 4 of your chips installed, well, you might have 2, but I have 4 because I went to the maximum quantity that I could get. I'll put these to the side right here. so I can start seeing a little more of what I got here. Next, we're going to go to our DVD player or burner. I didn't think there was no reason for me to buy a Blu-ray yet, since I don't burn anything that big or near that big yet. So I figured I'd just get the regular small DVD drive that does burning. Try to turn this a little bit here so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So in here on mine, I have a pull out that I have that just enables me to take mine out with this lever, and mine is a quick connect that when I want it in, I just push it in and I will line it up. Once my pins are lined, I'll get these pins and line them up too. Now that I turned it, now my drive doesn't come out. Now a lot of these companies are only making it so you do one side like that. And technically, because I'm not using any other one, if it will allow me to put this on the other side, I will. But if it doesn't, it doesn't matter. But it does look like they will allow me to. So I will lock it in on both sides. Now we'll be installing our 1 terabyte hard drive. Like I said, I don't know if this works anymore. It's been a while. It was brand new. I used it for like a week for my movies, and after that I never used it again. Go figure. So we will see if this does work. Now what's nice about this is a hard drive caddy. Take your hard drive and you put it in here, line these holes up so you can pull it out if you need to fast for swapping or more. It has 6 screws. You only need 4. Some people are overprotected about stuff shaking, but as long as you use 4, you will be good. And once that's all done and said, she's locked in, ready to go. Keeping them all nice and clean they are these days. That's the best thing you can do these days. I mean, if not, why else would you want it, right? So now, our fun part is usually putting in our fan, because the fans these days are sometimes quite a pain in the butt to put in. And usually I'll put in the hard end over here first and then push down with this end, get it lipped. Once it's lipped, lock it in. Now that you got your fan in, there's a lever right here that lifts up, and you got prongs on each side, and that makes it so that you can lock it in. Now that your fan's in, there's a fan over here. It says right on it, CPU fan. This is where you would want to plug your fan in. There's 2 ports right next to it. One of them is for an aftermarket case fan, which you will get into later, trust me. You'll do anything you want to keep this thing from getting warm, and you will get dust. All computers do. Some more than others. From that being said, we're going to get to our video card now. And as we do our video cards, we will keep it easy and not complex. The video cards are one of the biggest things you have about selecting your computer also, as your video card does a lot for you. I mean, depending on what you spend, I mean, you're paying a lot of money for these boxes these days too, when they could just give the thing OEM directive. But that's not up to me. That would be up to NVIDIA, you know. So this is what our video card looks like. Let me pull it out of this plastic elastic stuff for you, so you can get a better view of this bad boy. This is what you get when you pay around $300 for a video card. And yet I have 2. These cards rock. They are higher end, will stay cool, and make it so you have some stuff. And as you can see, I'm pulling the SLI side out of it right here. And I'm going to pull my bottom PCI out. Now you'll notice that not all computers come with this stuff on them. It's more because it's a higher end card. It's not the lower end mid-grade guy that you see in all your stores all the time. No. I mean, you'll see them in the stores, but you'll look at it and go, who would spend that much for a video card? Well, gamers for one would spend it. People who use a lot of video will spend it. And it'll keep going from there. On this note here, I like to line it up to see which 2 I'm taking out, which will be these 2. And if you can't see, let me turn this here for you. Let me make sure you guys can see here. Okay. So now I'm going to take this one out. And this one out. Just take those out, put them to the side, as you ain't going to use them again. You can put them in your box so that you'll always have them. So once you get it in there, you're just going to do what you normally would do. Push down nice and easy till she locks like that. Once she's locked in, screw it back in. Now that we have one in, we're gonna grab our second one. This means I have 4 gigs of video memory. When you buy these and you're pairing them up like I am, make sure you buy the same exact models. Especially if you're going to do any type of SLI, because it will not work if you're not using the same models. Yet again, we should be taking those 2 off, which we are. So I will take these 2 off. And if you are doing SLI, make sure you have SLI capable motherboard. I have capability of doing up to 4 video cards in here. But once you put these 2 big bad boys in here, you run out of room. You can't get 4 of these guys in there. Just ain't happening. And another thing, when I buy my video cards, there is a brand I will not buy. I will not buy EVGA, as a lot of their fans are really small and they like to clot up really easy, and then it goes bad. So if you do buy an EVGA just to save yourself a couple dollars, I wish you luck, as it won't last you as long as you think. I mean, it might get you by for a year or 2, but something like these is going to get you by a lot longer unless you need to upgrade it. Like I said, I'm not a gamer. I use this just for everyday use. But you know, when you build one so you can do it for everything if you need to. Now that you got these bad boys all locked into place, you're pretty much almost done with your computer. Now, what we gotta do is we gotta get everything all plugged in and situated now. Yay, the fun stuff. Or so he says. I got some cutters over here. I don't think I do. I'll be right back once I get my cutters. Alright guys, now that I got my cutters, I can start getting stuff off. Get these zip ties off. And go from there. Okay, so nowadays your wiring is fairly a lot easier than it used to be. You used to have wires in hidden places and everything else. Today, first just plug it in. Most of the stuff only fits in one spot. And once you have that plugged in, you're good to go. Me, I generally just tuck it in an extra bay, as it's not going to get used. It's not going to need anything. On Asus, let me find it here. You're going to get a bag of these. And these are for setting your pins up over here. All you do is you take these, and they're all named for you. You just connect them right into it. But we'll get to that in a second, because we have a lot of other things we got to get over there and in. Me, I like to run the stuff along the back here and then up and in. That way it's not in the way. Since these are just USBs. I think they're both USB. No, that one's HD audio. I'll have to find out where that is on here. So now that I have a better light for everybody, I hope you can see better now. Because I totally spaced that it wasn't on. Right now I'm just looking for the audio line. Sometimes it's hidden up in the top of the board, sometimes it's hidden in the back here. I think it's this one here, but I can't really read it, so I'll look in the book real quick. So I was right, it is over here in the back. And that won't reach under there. There's my screwdriver. Me, I'm just trying to guide a wire underneath so it looks nicer. And sometimes it's just easier to take this one card out. Which goes to another point. When you're going to pull one of these cards out, there's these little tabs down here in the bottom that you'll want to push down. This tab down here, you don't push that down, you'll break something. Now that that's installed, should just run along like that. Actually, I could probably run it around here like so. And you just want to kind of keep it nice in here because, you know, it's easier when things are so much nicer than when they're not. And that just connected all of our front stuff except for our additional stuff if we have any in here. Which we don't. They used to come with a lot of extra stuff. So now, I'm just gonna get my pin right here. And I'll wire it up here quick first. This is for the speaker, which is just this. It goes in just like that. 5 volts power wire. This is your power switch, which is right there. Your reset switch, which is right here. Your hard drive LED, which is right here. Like I said, they're all labeled for you. You get your power LED right there. And then your power ground right there. And now you have everything set up for your computer right here. You just lift it up, pull it through. Bring it around the back here. And I believe it goes this way, just like this. And with all that being in, that's all we have for wires on this computer. We'll take our our video card, and we will put it back in. Like I said, it only takes a minute. And as I said, building a computer is not hard. The hardest part is finding out where you're going to put everything. What you're going to get. That's the hardest part. Choosing what you want inside your computer. This is our SLI wire. SLI is when you want to make 2 video cards one, pretty much. So you take this little wire here, you plug it in there, and drop it in there. Now these 2 cards are linked. It's like having a gas tank and you have one on top of your trunk and you link them together. When the top one runs out, the bottom one kicks in. Then we'll use our connectors. These are the nice ones. They get the little clips that disconnect real quick. And these just go over here. Not really specific on which ones you use because you're going to declare which one's your hard drive and which one boots up first. So, so you just pick out where you want it to go. Bring it up and around. Drop it in. That one's installed. This one, we'll lift him up. Come over here. And plug it in. Like I said, I'll put the extra slack of wire down in here just so that it's not seen. We'll drop it back in, find our wires, These are our main board wires, main power supply. The big Mamba Jamba. I think this one goes in first. Now you got your power wire installed. You'll bring this wire down and in. In and out. And this is just if you want it done nice. Some people just probably slop it in here, I'm sure. And everyone has different connections, so you'll have to watch. Now we'll open our bag here. We'll see what kind of fun stuff we get to tear into here, because these are all our connectors. So this one, and we should only need one for our SLI because it's a heavier duty power supply. So we'll plug it in and we'll ramp them off just so it doesn't take too much out. Because it gives us up to 4. Have that guy just like that. Then I always install separate powers for my my disk drive and my hard drive. Do the far drive first. And then we'll take our last wire. Plug it into our hard drive. And then tuck it in here in the back. So with that being said and done, now I have to grab an old connector, or an older style connector, so I can plug my fans in. And then I will be done. Getting these connectors in is not always the easiest. Should be good. And I just tuck it in. And that is how you build yourself a computer. I'm just gonna button it up, put the lid on, and I'll be back to show you the final. Alright, so we're back. And I'm just gonna do a little walk around here of the new computer just built, so you can see everything's nice, flush, ready to go. You got your power, your reset, your audio, your USB connectors that we set up in front, one 2.0, one 3.0. The case all installed. Plastic still on the box. See inside. Your video cards and your new power supply. Hey, yes, I didn't get no extra fans right now. I am going to get 2 up here, as they're going to be needed in this bad boy. The only fan that we have pushing right now is this one right here, and we should be good to go. I wanted to thank you guys very much for watching my video. I hope this helps some of you out there who are trying to learn and build a new computer. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. This is Rick, the electronics guy, signing out.